lovely life growing up. It was segregated in Lincolnsville, where I was born and raised. When I finished high school, I went to New York, which New York was segregated too, but I didn't feel like it was because you had so many different opportunities and you went different places that you couldn't attend in the South. So it didn't seem too bad then. I was welding in the shipyard, and all the men on the ship were white. And here come this little 18-year-old streamlined girl to weld. And when I said good morning, no answer. I said, oh, this is segregation again. But I stayed, and after saying good morning every morning, they decided to say good morning back before it was all over. And we got along very well after that. After I left there, we went to Seattle. I had a girlfriend, Corrine. And I saw this sign in the subway and said, we need you. And I saw this Rose of the Riveter with her bandana and her muscles all rolled up there, sleeves rolled up. And I said, that should be fun. We went out there to Boeing's, worked for Boeing's aircraft. And we thought we were going to be welders, but they put us on the B-17s and B-29s as mechanics. We went back to New York, and I had been dating Vickers, and he worked in Jersey during the summers. So he came over to New York, and he asked me to marry him. And I said yes because I liked him. But not knowing that he was coming back to St. Augustine, because really I never would have married him, because St. Augustine was the last place I wanted to come to. And then they were building these new homes out on the west side for blacks. Well, they had started, and some of the whites refused to sell to blacks and whatever. And so this big company, Watley, Stockton, Devon and Company, bought the land. And they said that they were going to build these homes, and they were going to be for blacks, or colored at that time. At night, they would come through shoot our lights out every night, because they didn't want us in that area. They shot into your home, and through the glass, you know, if they saw a light, they'd shoot it out. And J.C. Conway, she formed a telephone tree that one end of Scott Street, when they saw the Klans riding through, they'd call down the line, and all they would say is, hit the floor. And that's what we did. Many nights I cooked by the refrigerator light because I was afraid to burn the lights. I put up blankets. I had my salon right next door under the carport. And we put up blankets so you couldn't see the light. And I lost half of my business because the people were afraid. They were afraid to come out. At first, I thought, well, this will just last for a couple of nights and they'll get tired and stuff. But then afterwards, I was just afraid to come out the bathroom because you didn't know where the bullet was going to come through if they saw a light. And I thought one time of not being involved in the movement, and I said, well, this is not going to help because they're still going to do this. Dr. Halen had been asking people to do the kneel-ins because he was short of people. They wanted to picket, they wanted to sit at the counters, and they wanted to integrate other things, but very few people wanted to take their Sundays to go to the kneel-ins. Well, Dr. King was there, and he was sitting at the pulpit, and they needed these people to go into the kneel-ins. And he just looked around, and he just looked me in the eye, and Dr. King said, will you go, young lady? And you can't refuse Dr. King. So I said yes. That was my beginning. Well, I did the kneel-ins on Sundays. Not that it was all that safe, because they did put people in jail that went to kneel-ins, but it was because I worked the rest of the week, and Sunday and Monday was my day off, so I could go. Yep. The kneel-ins was to go and integrate the churches, the white churches, and we would go, and the ushers would meet us at the door and not let us in. But one of the churches, Trinity Church, I got in downtown, there were two young men from one of the colleges, and I was sandwiched between the two young boys, and we got in, and it was almost at the end of the service. So when this usher came down with the minister, and he looked at me and he said, "If I ever see your face around here, you'll be sorry." That was the worst incident I had, because they did put people in jail that went to kneel-ins.